Hi, my name is Shamika Cherry Jackson, and I am a licensed clinical social worker. But more importantly, I'm a mom. Anyway, today I just wanted to talk about just resiliency. And there's a scripture that made this come to my mind and put it in this context for me. So, most of us are familiar with Jeremiah 29:11, and if you've grown up in any church context or you heard it in graduations, and I mean, it's familiar, where it says, God says, I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you, plans to give you a future and a hope. And his desire is for you to have good, do good, and not have evil. But I think that what people miss is that that passage is tucked in the middle of a chapter where the Israelites are actually in captivity. And so when you read a few verses up, like in Jeremiah 25, verses 5 and 6, he's telling them, while you're in captivity, this is what I want you to do. I want you to continue to build houses. I want you to live in them. I want you to be fruitful and multiply. And I want you to seek the welfare of the city of where you are. If the city does well, then you will do well. And I just think of that in this season. We all go through difficult challenges and things like that. And so our knee jerk reaction, like, God rescue me, get me out of this. This is difficult. I'm succumbing under the pressure. But sometimes God doesn't get us out of the situation. He strengthens us while we're going through the situation. He strengthens us while we're in it. He builds resiliency in us while we're in it, so that at the end of it, when it comes, we are stronger, we are bigger than the challenge that we are or we're in. So yes, sometimes he can rescue it and alleviate the problem and rescue us out of it. Other times we have to grow through it. We become stronger, and he's with us on this journey, and that's what we see when we read this chapter of Jeremiah 29. And we love verse number 11. It's like, I know the plans I have for you. This is my desire for you, to give you a hope and a future. This is my desire. But with that being said, that verse is surrounded by other verses that talk about them being in captivity. You're in a tough spot. You're going to be in a tough spot. But I want you to continue to prosper. I don't want you to shrink back out of fear. I don't want you to shrink back out of frustration. I don't want you to shrink back because you're angry and waiting on God to do something and come and rescue you. It's like, no, use the tools, use what you have control over. Do what you can in this tight situation. And he tells them, I still want you to continue to be fruitful and multiply. Continue to seek the wealth of the city. If the city is prospering, in turn, you're going to prosper. So seek the wealth of the city. Continue to plant your gardens, because it was an agrarian society. Continue to plant your garden so that you have food. Garden is also great for our mental health. It's getting you outside and all those things. You're around life, giving things, the crops and vegetables that you are growing. So get into nature, continue to plant, continue to grow, continue to have children. So those things, even in the middle of tight situations, God is still expecting for us to expand, to stretch. I heard the analogy today in church, being like a rubber band, being willing to expand under the pressure, under the tension, so that you can grow. And so I heard these 8 things that a resilient person does, and I can't take the credit for any of these. I love how Bishop Bronner put it. And so it's just, it's resiliency during tough times. And I just wanted to share this list with you. Because I think it ties perfectly into what I was just saying in Jeremiah 29:11. Yes, that's the overarching theme. That is God's heart for us to prosper, for us to be in good health. But that does not come without adversity. That does not come without being in tough situations. That does not happen um, when life is all good. Sometimes we feel squeezed. Sometimes we are in tight spots. But in the middle of that, continue to control what you can control and continue to multiply. But anyway, I wanted to go through this list with you. Resiliency during tough times, things that resilient people do. Number one, they can connect with God. So still keeping up with your prayer life, continue to keep staying connected to His Word, connecting with other believers, people that can bring you inspiration, keeping those things up. And that was number two, maintaining a source of inspiration. Sometimes, at least for me, I have to put guardrails around what I'm listening to, and what I'm listening to and who I'm listening to. There's a time and place where we have to have the news. We have to know what's going on in the world. But at the same time, it can be too much. I need to hear some hope that it is going to be okay, that this season too shall pass, whatever that season is for you. But also just having some inspiration, looking at other people that might have been through similar or same situations and how did they overcome it. Or just something that can give us a perspective of thinking higher than what it is that we are going through. I think of that verse where it says, think about whatever is true and holy and noble and of good report. That's where our thoughts needs to be. So inspiration is content that can help facilitate those types of thoughts, giving us hope in the midst of difficult circumstances. Number three, reflect and move forward despite misfortune. The reflection part is learning the lessons from it. What could I have done differently? What could I have said differently? What did I learn in that situation? What did I learn in that season? Reflect on it and move forward, meaning don't get stuck there. I'm taking the lessons and the blessings, and it's time for me to pick up from here and to move on from this, as he calls it, a misfortune, whatever the negativity or misfortune situation is happening in your life. Reflect on it and move forward despite misfortune. Number four, embrace change. Is it time for you to learn a new skill? Is it time for you to step out on faith, try something new? Embrace change, being willing to grow and try something new. Number five, remain optimistic and surround yourself with optimistic people. And I don't know. I guess I just have the gift of exhortation because, and I've just been told that, like, from my friends, like, just trying to be an encouragement to people. But at the same time, even though I have that gift, some days I have those moments where I'm down and I need encouragement as well, but knowing who I can turn to. So having good friends, having people in your life, that's optimistic, that can help you see past the situation that you're in. So remaining optimistic and surrounding yourself with optimistic people. Number six, invest in yourself and in your future. I like that. I appreciate that so much because I feel like when you invest time or you spend money on something, you're going to give it your all. You're going to show up. You're going to put in the effort. And so I just like that, looking at yourself, looking at your skill set, looking at where you want to go as an investment. I'm currently learning some new skills and things that I've wanted to do, but now I've made time to do it. And if I can lower that learning curve by finding a mentor or someone that's already been down this journey, even if it's learning through TikTok videos or YouTube videos or whatever, doing those things that are investing in myself and investing in myself and in my future. These are skill sets that I'll be able to use and build on, and they'll multiply. Number seven, take calculated risk. When you're stepping out on faith, you also want to have wisdom, and I think that's what that's speaking to, taking a calculated risk of, okay, this is what I want to do. But at the same time, I do need to be in consideration of the other people that this is going to influence. Me being a wife and a mom, how are these decisions, the stepping out on faith journey going to impact my husband, my children, our resources, my time at home? You know, all those things need to be considered. So there has to be a healthy balance of, yes, stepping out on faith, but at the same time exercising wisdom and using, practical sense. And number 8, making time for recreation. Whatever that looks like for you. I am a big proponent, and I'm always talking about self-care, teaching self-care, how we need to be doing those things. But whatever that is for you, making time for recreation. So I'll go back through this list. So things that resilient people do. Number 1, they connect with God through prayer and through the Word of God. Number 2, they maintain a source of inspiration. Number 3, they reflect and move forward despite misfortune. Number 4, they embrace change. Number 5, they remain optimistic and surround themselves with optimistic people. Number 6, they invest in themselves. So invest in yourself and in your future. Number 7, take calculated risks. And number 8, make time for recreation. All right. So just real quick, being resilient is being able to withstand or recover quickly from a difficulty or condition. It's also being able to recoil or spring back into shape after bending, stretching, or being compressed. So again, I think about that from the aspect of a rubber band. A rubber band is only useful when it's able to be stretched, and that is the purpose of it. If it snaps, then it's no longer useful. But we have to, even in our life, be willing to stretch and be willing to grow. And those tools, 8 steps that I just given you, resilient things that you can do that a resilient person does, to help you stretch and grow in difficult situations, in tough spots. So I hope that was an encouragement for you. Feel free to like my channel, share my channel. Again, my name is Shamika Cherry Jackson, and I'm also a licensed clinical social worker. If you are in the Tennessee area, or if you want to, look at for coaching or anything like that, feel free to shoot me an email. But either way, be encouraged, and until next time.